Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I struggled a little bit with the hype leading into it. Super Bowl rematch. Well, yeah, it was the same two teams that played in the Super Bowl. They get their revenge. Do they really? Do Eagle fan really feel better about losing the Super Bowl because they won last night? It was the two teams who played in the Super Bowl and probably the two teams who were favored to play in the Super Bowl again. You can throw the Ravens in there maybe too. But it was not a rematch. But it was a pretty entertaining football game. What's up? Merry Tuesday, 2 days before Thanksgiving. Glad you're with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck not here. DC is with me today. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
You living all right?
I am. I caught quite the documentary last night. Bye Barry, about Barry Sanders.
Oh, where was that?
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Thanksgiving recommendation.
Is that right?
Oh my goodness, it's great.
Was that on instead of the football last night?
It actually came out at 5:00, so I was able to record a little bit of the game, skip all the commercials. It was a very smooth transition. Very good football night.
Beautiful. Bye, Barry. All right. Are you buying? This was a Super Bowl rematch.
Well, yes, it technically was, but I'm with you. It's two different teams. Yeah, if I'm an Eagles fan, I don't feel any better about losing a Super Bowl because I won in Week 11.
I looking at a headline: Eagles unsatisfied after winning Super Bowl rematch. Well, no bleep. Really? You mean winning a game in November isn't the same as winning the Super Bowl? Of course not. Now, there's a lot to unpack, as you just told me earlier. Did the better team win? Well, they made more plays. I told you I was on Kansas City, right? And why did I tell you I was on Kansas City? Because I really like their defense. They gave up the one big play to Devontae Smith, which, by the way, that one put me away too. Finished me. I'm 2 games. I was playing against Hurts on one side and Devontae Smith on the other. And that play, thanks for coming now. They controlled Jalen Hurts. Only had 150 yards. But he did score the 2 touchdowns on the 2 brotherly shoves. They contained A.J. Brown. 1 catch, 8 yards. It was Devontae Smith who did it. Catch the football. I don't understand the epidemic that's going on in the National Football League. And you tell me, is it just more pronounced, or are there just more drop balls? I mean, if you take the Chargers and the Chiefs, just those two, this week, it feels like those two teams dropped more catchable passes. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a break on the very last one. I thought that Justin Watson got hit in the waist a tick early, and you might have even been able to throw a flag. Kelsey, Valdez-Scantling, I don't know how much better you're a professional wide receiver. Receive the ball. And I know it's hard. I'm not sitting there, can you do any better? No, dude, that's not my point. My job's to spit into a microphone every day. I'd like to believe I can do that better than those guys can. Maybe I can't. I don't know. They still let me do it. My job isn't to go out and catch footballs from Patrick Mahomes. But I hate being super critical on guys like that. But I don't know, man. I mean, you know that whole "you got one job" thing. You always blame a kicker. A kicker misses a kick. Oh, what's he doing? I mean, it's not easy. You can't do it either. Tell me if I'm too harsh on this.
On that particular one, you are not. That throw was beautiful. It was like 55 yards on a rope. It was insane.
On the number.
And it hit him in stride. It
In
couldn't
the
have been a better
hands.
throw. In the hands, yeah. That one right there is totally on the receiver. And when I saw it, I thought that was over. I mean, honestly, that was the shot they had.
Kelsey dropping. How about the throw he made on 4th and 25?
Yes.
And he finds Justin Watson. And I mean, and good route by Watson. It's kind of crazy that he even got open, right? Because they showed you the defense, and they had 5 dudes at the to gain line, and somehow he runs his route and settles in perfectly, and Mahomes puts it on a freaking rope right there in the hands. And that one was tougher. He was getting hit from below. I'm not going to sit here and say that was it wasn't an easy catch. But you can't put the ball any better. But does it feel? I mean, you watch the Chargers too, right?
Oh yeah.
Keenan Allen and Guyton and all those dudes just dropping balls. I'm like, holy smokes! So Eagle fan, good. Congratulations, you won the game, and you did enough. You maintained Mahomes. You took Kelsey somewhat out of it. The brotherly shove is the most unstoppable play in football history.
Yeah, they kept announcing stats on that, and by the end, I think the success rate is 55 out of 60 attempts over the last 2 years.
It's insane.
It really is. When you're over 90% on anything, you're doing very well. In school, they would call that an A.
I believe that's right.
Yeah. So it's insane. That thing, when you see it, you know it's coming. They're not hiding it. There's no trickery involved, but they are every single time. It's just like a rugby
At some
scrum.
point, they're gonna throw deep out of that thing, right?
Oh yeah.
At some point,
Yeah.
they're going to get low, back him out. A tight end's going to get lost and go for 85 yards, right?
And that's what you do to, end a first half in the Super Bowl. It just totally surprise them.
And that's what they're holding it for, right?
You gotta
At
think
some
so.
point, that thing's going to look different. I mean, I said to you before, and again, Eagles are really good, and they may win the Super Bowl. And they went toe to toe with Kansas City last night, and they've gone toe to toe with everybody. And who beat them? The Jets or something? Is that who beat them? It was the Jets.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
I walked away last night feeling that the better team didn't win.
I understand that. That the end of the first half, the last 2 drives, the Chiefs' defense looked so good. 4 sacks on 6 plays, 1 tackle for a loss. I mean, they looked unstoppable, and then they go run down and score. That little bit of the game, kind of, for me, I'm with you. It looked like they were the better team at that moment, kind of by a lot, too. But the way the Eagles were able to drag it out and keep shutting them down,
They're really good.
they really are.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from the Eagles, but Jeff, you are, if you're saying, and I guess I am. They won the game, and so they were the better team. But I walked away feeling that way. And again, it was because the Kansas City defense, I thought at times was so good. But give it to Philly, man. They are tough. They are good. They are composed. They are well coached. They got playmakers. Their defense was good too. Now, their defense. I mean, you start looking at the numbers, and Mahomes only threw for 168 yards. They ran for 168 yards, and they got it done. Good football last night. Really good football game last night. It was, I don't know if it totally lived up to the hype. I think you expected a lot of points in that game. I think the trend was on the over, and they only scored, 38 total in this one. I think the over-under was like 42, 43, somewhere in there.
That does sound right.
So it did go under. But you may see this again. We may see this again. And what did we say Kansas City's biggest issue was? Receiver,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Somebody outside of Kelsey. They let go. I mean, the Tyreek Hill's been gone, and they still win the Super Bowl last year. Who's going to be the guy that steps up? It was Justin Watson last night, and Rashee Rice had 4 catches on 5 targets. And I love me some Rashee Rice. But the drops were insanity to me.
Yeah, they needed a receiver to step up. After Kelsey fumbled in the first half, that was the moment where it just seemed like there was such a spotlight on that receiving core, because you realize, like, that is their main weapon. It's Kelsey than everyone else. So that is going to be something to keep an eye on moving forward, because if they don't address that, it will be hard to get through the AFC. I can't see a situation where they get past the Ravens with how they played last night.
They've got to score, right?
They do.
You think
They
the
do.
Ravens are going to score? They've just got to score, and I think it's 3 games in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
3 games in a row.
They've not scored in the second half, right?
They're averaging just over 5 points throughout the season in the second half, 17 points in the first half. So, I mean, 24 points is not that high-powered offense that we got used to over the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, that's really something.
All right, breaking news in the NFL this morning. The Pittsburgh Steelers fired their offensive coordinator, Matt Canada. Steeler fan, I know you're thrilled. I mean, you've been screaming about this forever. And I don't know what they're going to do when they run Kenny Pickett out there next week and still score 13 points with another offensive coordinator. But Matt Canada has been relieved of his duties, the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers this morning. They scored 10 points last week, and then running back Najee Harris went on a post-game rant, and those are becoming more and more common too, right? Find the most pissed off guy in the locker room, put a microphone in front of him, put a camera on him, and let him say something and
Ask him
not
how he
fire.
feels.
Yeah, how do you feel? How do you think I feel, man?
Yeah.
Hey, you only got 1 reception, Devontae. How do you feel?
Gaslighting. It's every game. You're right. They go and they find the guy
Yeah.
that's going to be the most upset about
Oh,
the
it's
game.
your job. Give me a soundbite.
Yeah.
No, I get it. All right, when we come back, it is 7:15 almost, and it is Tuesday. Been looking forward to this a lot. Jerry Kill's going to be with us, the New Mexico State football coach. Aggies go on the road. They win at Auburn 31-10. Y'all are still wobbling in your shoes, Aggie fan. I know you are. Next up, here comes Jacksonville State. 8-3 Jacksonville State. Rich Rodriguez and that team. So that's the next hurdle. But after I don't know what probably is the biggest victory in school history, winning at Auburn, beating the pants off of the Auburn Tigers as 20 whatever point dogs. Jerry Kill's going to tell you how they did it and how they turned this thing around and went on senior night at home, headed into a conference championship game. Really looking forward to the conversation with the Aggie head coach next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together
Pull together.
to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How would I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom!
Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
After that huge 31-10 New Mexico State victory at Auburn on Saturday. Yesterday, New Mexico State was named Cheez-Its Team of the Week nationally. Diego Pavia, Gabe Peterson were named Conference USA Players of the Week. And next up, Jacksonville State, then conference championship game against Liberty, and then a bowl game. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta. I'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. Aggies were 20-whatever-and-a-half-point dogs going to Auburn. You know the story. Had never beaten an SEC team. They got $1.85 million to go in and dominate the Auburn Tigers at Jordan-Hare Stadium. The head coach at New Mexico State is in his second year. He's Jerry Kill. He joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Congratulations, Jerry. How you living? Let me do that again. Let me push the button. Hi, Jerry.
We're doing good, but you never get enjoyed as much. We enjoyed it on certainly Saturday, but I think we're all tired and enjoyed a little bit on Sunday. But we had to go back to work like we always done, and we know Jacksonville is going to come in here, and this will be their bowl game and championship game in their opinion, and but we also got a chance to win 10 games, and so it should be a war. You don't ever get any time to celebrate, but it is a meaningful win, no question about that. And, our kids didn't go in nervous or anything like that. They just went in and did what we do. And, we made some great plays and we held on to the ball. That's the biggest thing, and kept their offense on the boundary. So, good win, and now we go the next week.
Jerry, you told me last week, you said, I'm not resting players. And you said something that resonated so deeply. You said, if we rest players, sends a signal, and I'm paraphrasing you, to the players that I don't believe in them, and we believe we can go in and win. When do you think they believed they could go in and win this game?
I think at the very beginning of the week, as we approached it that way, and we didn't approach it any different than we have all year. I really don't talk to the opponent until Wednesday, somewhere in there. I just talk about following our principles that's helped us win. I may say a little bit earlier this week, just the satisfaction you gotta play. This is a game you just kind of screams a little bit because we got to come off a short week, about playing players. But, again, if you do that, it's not a good message to the kids. And you also sometimes get out of a rhythm. And, I felt, all along our kids, the way they approached it and everything. And, I knew what Auburn had and everything. But, our kids went in loose. We prepared hard, and we beat a team that has won some very good football games, and we'll find they got to play Alabama this week, so we'll see how good we are, I guess.
Well, Jerry Kill's with us, New Mexico State's coach. It surprised people to win, and I know you expected to win. But the domination, I think, was the stunning part. You outgained them 414 to 213. You out-physicaled them. Your both lines dominated them. You beat them by 21 points. I mean, the fact that you won so, and I'll never say easily, but so handily and dominated, that had to surprise you a little bit, didn't it?
Well, yeah, I said we had to win both lines of scrimmage, but yeah, I didn't think that we would physically, be able to do that. I thought we could win the game, but, I didn't think we could physically dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides. And, we had to do a few things. We ran a fake punt that helped us and did a couple things, out of our realm. But, but overall, we were the more physical team that night.
All right, talk about the fake, two big calls. The fake punt, and then going for it on fourth down, and Diego makes an unbelievable throw. Eli Stowers with a great catch, getting a foot down in the corner of the end zone. The fake punt, we had Andre Seldon was on yesterday, and he said, I was surprised. Like, I knew we had it, but I couldn't believe we were due. I was going on the field to play defense. I'm like, dang, coach got some. Like, where the faith in that call, was that something you saw on tape? Because obviously that was a huge call, and then going for it on fourth down and scoring that touchdown late.
Yeah, we could have got out of it, but we knew what they were going to do one way or the other, and they lined up just exactly the way that we practiced it. And, we could have audibled out of it, but it was there, and Whitfield got a great block, and then, on can run. And so it was, it was a deal where if we had to get out of it, we could, but they set up perfect for us, and it could have been a call, what the hell are you doing, Coach Kill? Or it could have been, it's a great call. So it ended up we made it, and everybody said, boy, that was a good call, but it could have gone either way.
Coach is a genius when it works, isn't he? Coach is so smart when they work.
Yeah, they do. And that was really a big play because we went on and scored. And, I felt that kind of, that put some doubt in their mind. And so whether they could come back or not, because we were stretching the score a little bit.
You said something after the game. Jerry Kill is with us, New Mexico State's head coach. Aggies beat Auburn 31-10 last week in Auburn, Alabama. They come home. It's their regular season finale. Senior night against Jacksonville State, senior day, 2 o'clock out in Las Cruces. You said it was one of the most satisfying wins you've ever had. You've had some big wins. What you've done with this program, where this program's been, talk a little bit about why you said that and how this stacks up. It was a regular season win, but it was something this program has never done. First SEC win, and understanding where the program's been. Just a little bit about what that meant to you and to this program.
Well, I think it means a lot to the program. It means a lot to the people in Las Cruces. Everywhere I go now, I'm not going to go anywhere, and I better be, on call because everybody's, excited about football. And I think that as far as me, I've been fortunate to coach a lot of good teams, been successful. I hate to circle any of them out. We went in at Southern Illinois, beat Indiana, Northern Illinois. We beat 2 Big Ten teams. But I've never gone in and beat a Southeast Conference team. So we had Tennessee on the ropes and got beat 17-13. And, and Coach Fulmer got fired the next week, which is sad. But, but this is the first, time to go in and really dominate a team. And, won one of them close games. You had to kick a field goal. So it was a very satisfying win and for a bunch of kids that, just gave everything they got. As long as you play hard, you got a chance.
Yeah. All right, last week it's Hugh Freeze, and you've beaten him now. 2 big wins late in the year, last year at Liberty and then this time at Auburn. Now here comes Rich Rodriguez in Jacksonville State. And if people have not noticed what's going on down there, Jacksonville State is transitioning to FBS. They are a Conference USA team in Jacksonville, Alabama. They've got some resources down there. And Rich has that team at 8-3. And I've watched them a little bit, Jerry. He's got a nice football team that's coming into play on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, they're a team that can, it'll be one of them throw-up games, They're going to come in, very, very high because this is they're going to get to a bowl game because there's not going to be enough teams. But, this is their way of saying, well, we could have been in there, I know him well enough that, he's a competitive dude, and I'm very competitive, and it's one of those things that it'll be thrown up, and I expect this, to be honest with you, athletic and all that. They scare me more than Auburn does in some ways, and just because how bad they're going to want to come in and play, and we got to match it, and then knowing who we're playing against. And Jacksonville, we won a national championship against them back in Division II, and then we played them again the next year and lost. But you look at them, they got the same type of athletes, but just a little bigger and a little stronger and faster. But it's the same. When you got Alabama as a recruiting background in Georgia, I don't know how you can't have great players. They've always had good players.
This is, I don't know if it's a trap game, whatever words you use, but you talked about the concern on this one, right? The emotional high that was last week, knowing that the week after you're going to play for a conference championship. Is this one of those where you got to convince your guys that, hey, you're not as good. Stop reading your press clippings. This is a damn good football team that's coming in to get you.
I think they know, and I'll certainly make them aware of it. But I think they know, and there's enough press and all that stuff that they know what's riding on the game, and naturally kids are going to look ahead because that's the one. The conference championship, deal. We got to look at health in our ball club also, and be careful in what we do. And but they know what's ahead of them, and it's the seniors. We don't have many seniors, but it's their last game at home. I think there's 8 of them, and it's a deal where you always want to win your last game at home. And my rule is you never lose at home, never.
Yep.
And so. We'll see if we can prevail that, but we got to practice today. We'll see how practice goes, and we'll just keep working along.
Yeah, you got big plans for Thanksgiving? Do you do a big team Thanksgiving, or what do y'all do down there?
Yeah, we'll practice and our regular Thursday practice, and then have Thanksgiving for the kids, and then we'll have our regular Friday workout before we get on that.
Beautiful.
Before we go to the hotel and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be the kind of same thing we do out every Friday at home.
Good. Well, a lot of holidays. I know a lot of people are coming down. I'll be down there on Friday. You'll see my bald head coming up to see you before the game starts. And I know they'll have a great crowd. Congratulations on the success. Keep it rolling. I know you're not done. Always appreciate the conversation. Have a great Thanksgiving, Jerry, and I'll see you down there on Saturday. Good luck against Jacksonville State.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Be well. Jerry Kill, the head football coach at New Mexico State. It says a lot, doesn't it? I mean, he said, I coached a lot of games. I never beat an SEC team. Coaches always want to tell you it's about the kids, but don't tell me that didn't mean a little bit something to him.
Oh, you could hear it in his voice. Yeah, it meant a lot to him, and that just builds on my theory that he's not going anywhere.
As far as going coaching his phone, somebody asked me again. Yeah, I get asked this about 4 times a day. Is his phone ringing? Yeah, I'm sure his phone's ringing. Yeah.
Yeah. When you win these games, yeah, your phone rings for sure.
But let's see what the conversations are. All right, I want to respond to that when we come back. Aggie fan, feel free to get in. I got breaking news: the National Football League as well. The number is 505-246-0610 or Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. The phone number is also the text line. Hey, cold winter weather is coming fast. It's actually here. It's been nasty already, huh? It's not good to your vehicle. Give your car the protection it needs. Get a visit from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Why do I recommend On the Spot Automotive Detailing? Well, because they're great. Because they do an insanely great service, and they do it at your convenience. Where it's convenient, when it's convenient. That means they come to you. And not only do they offer great detailing services, but their ceramic coating and paint protection film work like magic. No more mud, dirt, water stains. The protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage to your car's paint, and with an opportunity to get a lifetime warranty, you can't go wrong. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They offer window tint services as well. 10% discount for military and teachers. Visit OTSdetailing.com. That's OTSdetailing.com.
This report brought to you by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Wobble on. You, DC's with me. JJ's in Cancun. When do they play? When do you have Lobo women's basketball on your schedule? I don't have a schedule back here. I got Lobo men's basketball tonight. They're on Flow TV, 9:15 over on News Radio KKOB against Toledo. New Mexico State, by the way, plays in Cancun tonight against Fresno State. They're on at 6:30 on the CBS Sports Network. So you got a few calls during that? Aggie fan?
They're psyched. They are really excited. They're very thankful for their coach in this time of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I saw the phones lighting up, and you were saying a bunch of them were calling, and they're nervous. I know that every Aggie fan, not everyone I know, but a lot of them I've been calling, and is this phone ringing? How are we going to keep Coach Kill? And I think I'm going to go back to what Steve Alford said before he left for UCLA, when he was here and he was happy, and he said, you don't mess with happy. And he messed with happy, and he made $16 million. He went to UCLA, and I'm sure he doesn't regret the experience. I'm sure, now, do I think he'd rather be at New Mexico than Nevada? He's doing pretty well at Nevada right now, but I think Jerry's happy there. I think he's at a place in his life where he's happy. And we'll see. What I would tell you is enjoy this, man. Enjoy this ride. Enjoy what he's built. You and I were just having a conversation back there, and I want to share it with our audience. How has this happened so quickly, right? Yeah, he's a great coach. Players help. The young man we had on yesterday, Andre Selden, a 4-star recruit from Michigan, who's making a big difference, right? Keyshawn Elliott, the young man who we had on a few weeks ago, who had a bunch of Power 5 options coming out of high school and went to New Mexico State and is making a difference. All that's right. His coaches, Tim Beck, has done a great job with the offense. What they've done defensively, what Coach Dreiling has done with that defensive staff. I think the defense is what gets so underappreciated with New Mexico State. I mean, the fact they held Auburn to 212 yards and 10 points at Auburn is, the SEC teams aren't doing that.
Yeah, that's incredibly impressive at their building and just stopping them completely. That's a statement win.
They dominated them.
They did. They really did.
And then let me give you this. How many of you thought, an Aggie fan, even the most diehard Aggie fan, how many of you thought Diego Pavia was going to be this good? I mean, he hit a home run on Diego Pavia. And I remember, not this last offseason, but the offseason before, his first one. And I went out, they do an event at Nativo Lodge, the hotel over there on San Mateo on the freeway. And I go, Mario calls and says, come on out. And so I went out, and Jerry Kill was speaking, and Diego was there. And I remember him saying, we hope Diego wins the job. This was right when he transfers from Nemi and won a national championship. And I remember him talking about, and some of you might have been there, but he says it would be a great story. A kid from New Mexico, a kid from Albuquerque leads the Aggies to a bowl game. And you're like, yeah, it would be a great story. And I want you to think back to last year. First, 4, 5, 6 games? Him and Gavin Frakes were going back and forth. Diego would start, not play well. Gavin Frakes was a freshman from Oklahoma, came in, and then he'd start, and then Frakes would start the next game, and they'd go back and forth until Diego, about midseason, kind of found his stride and started becoming this little magical Diego Pavia. And again, this has nothing to do with the logo, and look, I get it, okay? I'm talking about football and what he's meant to that program. They hit a home run with that kid, man. And as big as everything else, the receivers, the recruiting, all that stuff, the development of that quarterback, and who that kid is. I mean, a tough wrestling champion. I meant to ask Jerry about when he picked. Did you see when he picked up on the interception? Picked the guy up and dropped him. Like, what do you want him to do? Kiss him on the face and like lay him down to rest? But I almost think that the development of that quarterback might be the biggest thing. Well, one of the biggest things. How about that in the turnaround of that program?
I mean, that's very fair because it's the most important position on the field. So yeah, being able to develop that from, local kid, didn't get, maybe the looks that they thought they were going to get, to do that. And then I'm reading this here. He was awarded with another national award this weekend after their win. He's added to the Davey O'Brien Great 8 list.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge accomplishment.
You got me thinking this way during the break where DC and I were talking about the way they come back and with COVID and just the response and how did it happen so quickly? And if you remember, man, they were playing games. They shut down during COVID. They played those 2 games in the spring, got beat by an FCS team. Had that next season, they fired Doug Martin, and this came in. And so I think a lot of it, obviously, what Jerry Kill's done and what the coaching staff has done, and they've recruited a different caliber player. I mean, they just have. They've got athletes. You don't go in and out physical Auburn the way they did without having a different caliber player. But it just feels like, man, they hit a home run with this quarterback. And Aggie fan, I'm kind of leaning on you a little bit, wondering where you are. 505-246-0610. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Diego and what he's become. There's no way. Did you have any idea he was going to be this good? And I know there's Lobo fan going, you're making him out to be better than he is. I don't know that I am. I'm not telling you he's a Heisman Trophy guy or he's a pro. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm telling you he's a winner. I'm telling you he's 9-3 this year for a program that's been 9-3 like not since the 50s.
It's interesting, too, because as you brought that up, what instantly popped in my mind is what they're doing at Colorado and how they're so vastly different. In the beginning of the year, people looked at Colorado like, oh, he's changing the game. But honestly, is he? 4 wins, no bowl game. Then you got...
Over. Their win total was 3.5, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who?
Colorado.
Yeah, it was low. It was it was very low. But the point is that the traditional way that Jerry Kill's doing is killing it. I mean, the guy's about to go to a conference championship. That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Aggie fan, you can respond to that. I love your thoughts on it, and just kind of, how did he turn around? What do you think the biggest is? It recruiting? Is it coaching? Hitting on that quarterback is a big piece of it. Text line says Pavi's a winner, big part of this. Love that guy. Okay. Text line says great interview, and as always, thanks for your great coverage of both FBS programs in our state. War Aggies. It's from TB. All right. Phones are ringing at 505-246-0610. I got some breaking news in the NFL, and we're going to get into United. They're getting their stadium. That happened last night as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hey, Dad, let me go out.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong, and
Come on back if you want to get in. Just as I was going to break, I saw Jameson popped on and wanted to talk Aggie football, so you're welcome to if you can or if you want to. All right, Bruce on Jerry Kill. Jeff, we're going to hear during Iron Bowl this week on CBS that Auburn is big, bad SEC club, yet they just got pantsed by Dirty Jerry at their place. Well, yeah. Can two things be true?
Oh, yes.
I mean,
two things can definitely be true.
I guess I probably should have been hit with the hater tag, But for you, they want to say, well, they're not that good if they got beat by New Mexico State. They're 6-5. They beat Mississippi State, Stanford. They just, well, I mean, look, are they the best SEC club? They're not. They had just beat Arkansas 48-10 the week before. They beat Vandy the week before 31-15. They beat Mississippi State 27-13. Ole Miss, who's ranked, they lost by a touchdown. Georgia's number one in the country, right? They lost 27-20 to Georgia. I'm not telling you they should play for national championship. But the argument now, well, they're not that good. It's just, it doesn't fly. It just doesn't. All right. Breaking news this morning, National Football League. Steelers fired Matt Canada, their offensive coordinator. They have been struggling. Matt Canada been relieved of his duties. Steeler offense has been bad. They're 6-4. Their point, this is crazy. How they have a negative point differential and they're 6-4, minus 29. They've been outgained in every game they've played this season, but they're 6-4. The Steelers ranked 28th in points per game, 28th in offensive yards, 31st in passing yards per game, and they're 6-4. They fired their offensive coordinator today. So you can get in on that. I got tons of hoops going on. It's feast week. Lobos will be in Henderson, Nevada today. They play Toledo, 9:15 over on News Radio KKOB. Aggies are in Cancun with JJ. They play Fresno State, 6:30 on CBS Sportsnet. Stan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Stan.
Hi, Jeff. I was wondering who the Lobos are playing tonight.
Toledo.
You know anything about their team?
Not a lot. Nope. Not going to pretend I do. Decent team out of the Mid-American Conference. I think the Lobos are 3.5 points favorite, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I don't think I am mistaken. All right, so Toledo's 3-0. They have beaten Detroit, Mercy, Louisiana out of the Sun Belt, and Wright State fairly handily on the first two. They got by Wright State by a point. They got a guy named Dante Maddox who scores for them. Not a big team, and that's what I know about. I don't know a ton about them.
Is that going to be a tournament, or is it a single game thing, or what is it?
3 games. So you got 3 games in a row. You'll play Toledo today. You get, I know Pepperdine's in there. My computer just stopped. There's 3 games. So you'll play today, tomorrow, and Friday.
Oh, okay.
And then it is a tournament. They take your record.
I've been hearing so much Aggie stuff on your radio station. I thought, I'm going to change the name of the town to Las Cruces for you.
Well, it's New Mexico State, and last I checked, we are in the state of New Mexico. But
okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No, thanks, Dan. See you. And by the way, wasn't Danny Gonzalez on yesterday? We did talk to the Lobo, and that's available for you wherever you get your podcast. It's all right there, and you can enjoy that. Rice tomorrow, 7:45, and then on Friday, Pepperdine, 4:45. So Lobos play tonight, 9:15 against Toledo. Tomorrow, 7:45 against Rice out of the American Athletic Conference, and then out of the West Coast Conference, Pepperdine, they'll play at 4:45. And then it is kind of a tournament. They'll take the records, and that's how they go at it. What were you telling me earlier? You got a bunch of calls. Thanks for covering both major colleges in the state.
Oh, yeah. Aggie fans were very thankful for the coverage.
It is New Mexico State, and we're the state of, and we're the biggest metropolitan center in the state, right?
And they're going to the conference championship, right?
I mean, was it a lot? I mean, maybe more than normal, but I don't know. It's a pretty damn big win, isn't it?
Yes, it deserves airtime for sure. Going out to Auburn and getting a win, I don't care if they're not ranked. That is not an easy place to play. That whole town bleeds. What is it, blue and orange? Like they are so dialed in out there. Like even on their down years, they're still pretty good. So I can't listen to it. It's not a big win. It's not that big of a deal. It is. It's a really big deal.
Text line says, don't forget about Lobo fans celebrating NM State's success. This is a real uniting New Mexico moment. How about that? All right. That's from 0584 on the text line. Yep. It was a big one. All right. If you want to get on the Chiefs last night and the Eagles, or is that the Eagles and the Chiefs since the Eagles won 21-17, I do want to dive deep into that and go into what that means and what it doesn't mean. Because I don't know that it means, first of all, it wasn't dominant. I don't know that I'm convinced the Eagles are better than Chiefs. They won last night. And so they won. I mean, winners win. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no excuses. But if I'm Kansas City, is there a receivers coach out there? What do you do for professional? I mean, is it just reps? Catch the ball? Was it wet out? It
was raining pretty hard last night.
It was. I mean, I know it was.
And they said on the sideline report that it was actually the quarterbacks that were having more problems gripping the ball than the receivers catching.
I don't know, man. Mahomes and Jalen Hurts put 2 deep balls right on their receivers. The one that Devontae Smith made over the shoulder at the 1 yard line was a beautifully thrown ball by Jalen Hurts and a terrific catch.
It was.
And the one that Marquez Valdes-Scantling dropped at the 2 yard line was you can't place a ball any better, can you?
No, I don't think so. That last drop by Scantling was just. I would love to hear what Chiefs fan thought about that, because it looked like he had it, looked like it was game over, and then it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, or it was.
Or it was, you're right.
Or it was.
Depending on what side you were looking for.
All right, when we come back, City Council voted last night on the New Mexico United Stadium. Does it move forward? And what does it mean? And more so, how feels you? I saw a lot of opposition to it over the last few days coming from Balloon Fiesta people, and what this means going forward to Fiesta and what it means to United. That's next. 505-246-0610 is how you get in today. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Big game in the NFL last night. Eagles 21, Chiefs 17 in a game that featured the two teams who played in the Super Bowl last year. For me, it just flows a little bit better than Super Bowl rematch. It just hits me more correct because rematch means, all right, well, let me get a rematch. I get, boxing, you get a rematch. All right, you beat me the first time, you got the belt. I beat you the next time, I get the belt. It doesn't work that way. The belt has not been handed over to Philadelphia yet. But they did, I don't know, if you feel they extracted revenge last night, okay. It makes you feel better, okay. But the Eagles did win, and it was a good game last night. So you can get in on that. Matt Canada's been fired this morning. He is the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just looking at some of the numbers on the Steelers. 28th in total offense, 28th in scoring, 31st in passing, yet they're 6-4. Minus 29 in point differential. It's insanity. So they're going to go a different direction there. So that's all open for you. Jerry Kill was with us today, the New Mexico State head football coach. If you want to get in on that, I've asked the question, what's the biggest factor in the turnaround at New Mexico State? Is it the coach? Is it athletes? Is it they just happen to hit on a quarterback who's a playmaker and just a special player? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts at 505-246-0610. All right, big night last night for New Mexico United. City Council, by a vote of 7-2, voted to allow New Mexico United to lease land over at Balloon Fiesta Park and build their soccer stadium. This is a big, big deal for them. I don't know how serious or what it would have meant. There's a 2026 mandate by the league that each team's got to have a 6,000-seat minimum soccer-specific stadium. I don't know that they were going to run this team out of Albuquerque because of all the success that they've had here. But it was something that was there, and certainly a chip that United could use, and they did, and they should have. But the stadium is going to be on a 7-acre parking lot east of the field at Balloon Fiesta Park. And it will be $30 million worth of private funds. Peter Trevisani, president, CEO of United, was in here about a month ago or so. And they talked about how it's not going to be, any city money. And I asked them, will there be state money that goes into that? And without saying yes, the answer was yes. There'll be, he said, well, there'll be some state money about the outside and the landscaping and some upkeep. So they're going to get some money to go towards that. And they're going to build a stadium. And I think this is good. I think this is great. Text line says, quote, minor, end quote. League soccer stadium approved last night. Got to be a kick in the nuts to old Jeffy. Hardly. You know, DC, you weren't here last year or 2 years, whenever the vote was. There was a ballot initiative that was voted down 65-35 for a city-funded project for a stadium downtown Albuquerque. And there was no site. There was no specifics. It was a rushed proposal on the ballot that and even JJ, I didn't like. I said I voted against. Well, how could you're a sports guy? You hate United. No. No, I didn't like that proposal. Here's $50 million. You're not telling us what you're going to do with it. Yeah, we might put it here. We might put it there. We might put it there. It was a bad, and I think by now everybody agrees, it was just a bad rushed proposal. 65-35. And so this guy keeps telling me, oh, you're against it, and it must be a kick in the nuts to old Jeffy. No. I think this is good. I think they get a stadium. I think I know many of you wanted it to be in a downtown-ish type spot where you can go and maybe something will build around there. But it's centrally located. People from West Side, Rio Rancho can get to it easily, as can people from the East Side and the Heights, Santa Fe. Hopefully it'll improve access in and out of Balloon Fiesta Park. This will come with upgrades to Balloon Fiesta Park, permanent restrooms, which it needs. I think this was a good solution. Is it ideal for everybody? Obviously, it's not. And I know a lot of people who support United are not thrilled about this. And there's people with Balloon Fiesta who are saying this is going to destroy Fiesta. I saw a lot of this is the beginning of the end of Balloon Fiesta talk this weekend. That somehow it's taking away a lot of parking. Well, not somehow, it is taking away parking. And parking, if you've been to Fiesta, is an issue. How they address that, I'm not certain. But the team will put in at least $30 million to the stadium. They will pay $35,000 a year in rent the first year, 2% rent increase each year, and 10% of parking, which they're anticipating parking be about, according to this in the journal, $20. People are going to lose their mind, by the way. In Albuquerque, when they got to pay $20 to park, look out.
My initial reaction is, wow, that's a really good deal.
I know. I paid $10 at Oklahoma City last month for an NBA game.
On their actual
right across the street from the stadium. Well, okay, it was $10 parking. By the time we turned back, it was passes only, so we gave the guy $20. No, I can't do that. Here, go over there and turn around. Then as we were turning around, I was like, here, okay. And so thanks for the $10 tip. So $20 to park right across the street from the stadium, or the arena for the Thunder.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's a real nice setup.
That's what I thought too.
I got to say, outside looking in, the fact that there's no bathrooms there is
well. They've got bathrooms. They've got those the kind of those long trailers. They're not. There's some of the individual porta dumpers. What do you? I mean, right? But there's like the trailers. So there's walk-ups and there's sinks, and so there's like, in the men's there's 2 urinals and a stall. The trailers are out there. But yeah,
I'm just surprised that an event that pulls in nearly 1 million people a year doesn't have their own bathrooms.
Yeah.
Like, I would be excited about that. And I kind of am, actually. It seems like
so you're gonna have a place to go.
Yeah,
get rid of your burrito.
I mean, if I don't want to keep it,
no, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame. When my beer and coffee are used, then I don't need it anymore, right? I think this is right. This feels like it's a place that, and if those of you who are upset from the Balloon Fiesta side, I'm interested in your point as well. I know that the parking is an issue, that a lot of you feel that this is going to push Balloon Fiesta not only out of that facility, but maybe out of town. I saw a lot of that this week. And we'll see where it goes. But this has been a long battle and a long process. And it feels like we have a solution. Text line, New Mexico United Stadium means Women's League, NWSL or USL Women. Yeah, I think that's probably right.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused as to why they would think this would be pushed out of town. there's almost like a circuit of balloon festivals that goes on in the South that, goes from Plano to Albuquerque, I believe somewhere in California after this. So it's not like an isolated event.
Well, but this is the biggest one in the world.
Well, and that's true. I get that. But I
this
guess
is the event that in a lot of respects put Albuquerque on the map internationally. I mean, the Balloon Fiesta is, look, I don't know that there's an argument. The Balloon Fiesta is the biggest annual event in this state, right? If there's an identity to an event, like if you say, what does Indiana have? You say the Indianapolis 500. What's Nebraska got? They got the College World Series, right? New Mexico's got Balloon Fiesta. Whether you like it or not, that is the biggest, and it's a great event. It is a world-class international event that people come from all over the globe to. It is.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And that's, I guess, why I'm confused as to why someone would think that would somehow go away if they improve the facilities.
Well, no, they feel that it's taking from the facilities and basically putting them behind the eight ball with parking, with taking away landing space. The light standards are going to get in the way of balloons going up, that sort of thing. That's what I've read.
Okay.
So
I will tell you, if I'm carrying my $200,000 balloon from France, I'd like a bathroom. Just saying.
To go pee. I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. So your reaction, it's there. Does it matter to you? Do you care? Or is it like, all right, this is cool. They got a place to go. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We can get in on that. When we return, the change at offensive coordinator for the Steelers is not the only offensive change an AFC team who thinks they're a contender has made. Another big change by another high-profile team. That is next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Hey, for years I've been telling you about IPS. They offer standing guards, 24-hour patrols, protect your home, protect your business. You might not know IPS also installs home alarms. They've been doing this for a few years, but they want to remind you that if you don't have an alarm in Albuquerque, you are much more likely to be a victim of a break-in. IPS's technology team also installs video cameras to record criminals who vandalize or steal company or home property. Video will help the police in investigations. When bad guys see surveillance, it discourages criminal activity. And IPS can set up your home or business with access control. So the only people authorized to get in are the only people who do get in. Sign up. Have IPS monitor your alarm, monitor your cameras, and when they see something or the alarm goes off, it takes about 7 minutes or less before they get to your home or business with trained, armed security personnel to check it out. And IPS provides the manpower and technology to protect you, your family, and your property. It's a winning combination. Call them at 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
From Jeff on the stadium. He said, just another thing on the cheap in New Mexico. He's talking about the stadium. How they're going to put $30 million into it. He says, just another thing on the cheap in New Mexico. $30 million is not going to be much of a stadium. Clearly, once again, New Mexico's going on the cheap. He says, I would vote for a $150 million, 20,000-seat stadium designed for 10,000 soccer that can expand to 20,000 for large A-plus events. 50 million private, 100 million from state capital outlay. City/state own 50% benefit, 50% revenue. He says, this is just a true JV move. He says, or I bet there's some inside secret deal going on where MLG for over $75 million capital outlay where the state receives nothing. I will not be surprised if there's some state money that goes into this because $30 million, and you said this, DC, and it's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and DC. You've said $30 million, like, what kind of stadium are you going to get, right? And when Peter Trevisani was in here, I asked him, because it was a big deal, there's no city money going into this. So I asked him, is there state money? And he kind of, he said, for some stuff outside the stadium, landscaping and upkeep and that. So I got to believe, and I think it's no secret, Peter's got a good relationship with the governor, and that's not a bad thing. That there's going to be some money coming down from Santa Fe to help as well. Because to your point, and you're not the only one, Jeff just made it, $30 million, while it's a lot of money, is it a lot of money for a stadium? And so, I mean, are they going to get up to 60, 70, 100 million on this project by the time it's done? In some respects, you hope so because you want it to be a really nice stadium, right? And in some respects, you're going, hell no, don't put any money into it. State money.
Yeah, 100 million looks very different than 30 million.
Well, right, or even 50 to 60 does.
Yeah, I mean, when you double up, you get twice the stadium. So 30 million, in my mind, I'm kind of looking at Rio Rancho High School. Like, that's kind of what I would expect for 30 million is, kind of like.
It's interesting. Would you expect, because I do, and I'm okay with it, by the way, that there's going to be some state capital outlay money that goes towards this, that they're going to lobby for it. And probably, I mean, it won't surprise me if the deal's already done, and if it is, good for them. Good move by them. That there's some state money that's going to go into it.
Yeah, I think that would be a great thing because clearly the way he laid it out is maybe financially they weren't prepared to put forth what it would take to have a real deal stadium. So if they're getting some kind of a subsidy from the state, that's not a bad deal. I mean, the whole state will benefit from it, and especially if you are getting part of parking and concessions.
Well, the city will. The city will. The state won't.
Well,
what would the state get on it? And the state may just give them the money.
And if that grows the city, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, or does the state own X percent of the stadium? I mean, I don't know what the deal will be. I don't know that for sure there will be a deal. I would assume. I look at it and I'm like, $30 million. It feels like, okay, what are you going to do for $30 million? And so, is there state money? We know that there's going to be some state money into it because Peter told us that. And again, I won't be surprised, nor will I be angry if there's some state money that comes into it and makes it better. I mean, if we're going to do it, let's do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to do it right.
No matter what this texter thinks I feel about it. No, I think this is if you're going to do it, let's do it something of which we'll be proud. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to think to the future on this because, as the texter said, if you do it right, maybe you do get a women's professional league. Maybe you.
I think you're going to. Yeah,
okay.
I think.
And the better you do your stadium, the better that secondary product becomes.
All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on the on New Mexico United Stadium, because it looks like that is going forward. And there's a bunch on it. I'll get you your thoughts. Hey, told you Matt Canada was fired, offensive coordinator, Steelers, and another team has made a move in the AFC. The New York Jets have benched their quarterback, Zach Wilson. So this is now finally over, the Zach Wilson thing. We're done because they made him third string.
I think it's done. I think it's done. I think it should have been done weeks ago.
Well, but they invested.
Now it's official.
Yeah, Tim Boyle's their guy. He'll start Friday against the Dolphins. Trevor Simeon's going to be the backup, and your boy Zach Wilson is back to number 3.
I'm sorry. When they kept replaying him tripping over himself, it just felt like the end was right there.
I mean, it happens. Who hasn't tripped over themselves?
Oh my!
I know. All right, Frank, you want to talk about the stadium? Hello, Frank.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, I wanted to go to that meeting last night about the stadium, and I don't know how come UNM didn't jump in this. You know, they could have cut a deal with United to sell them the stadium and build us our dome.
Sell them what stadium? The football stadium?
The oldest stadium in the nation. Our university stadium.
Because that would have been a horrible idea. Why do you think that would have been a good idea?
It's all about money. Because it's time for us. You know, I think it's almost as old as Sam Boyd Stadium. Look what Vegas did, and the recruiting's doing good. And I think we need a new facility.
Well, I think that's right. But so how would selling your stadium to New Mexico United have helped that?
Well, they'll be across from the Topes, and then you already have everything in there, and cut them a good deal, and find a place to build us a new stadium.
So your point would have been that the soccer would have played there, and then Lobos would have moved off campus and built a new stadium somewhere else?
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, I don't think that they wanted to get into business with United, start renting their stadium back from United. I don't think I know that was floated probably 2-3 years ago. Sell the stadium to United and let them build and then lease it back. And I think you need to control your own facility. Now, do I agree with you 1,000% that stadium needs to be redone or rebuilt or renovated? Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's got to be a different project.
I see. And then I'll give you a call tomorrow. I got an idea on the Pac-2, Pac-8, whatever that conference is going to be.
The 2-pack. Yeah, okay. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Frank. Yeah, I respectfully will disagree with that. I think selling the stadium, because this came up, I got wind of this, gosh, it must be 2 years ago, DC, where I had heard the governor was suggesting that, or the governor's office or something was coming out of Santa Fe, that UNM was having financial problems. This was after the deal died, I think, on the ballot. Sell them the stadium and lease it back. And I'm like, whoa. Like all of a sudden, let's just turn them into a JC football program. We're going to give up our football stadium, give control to those guys, and we're going to lease our stadium back and ask them what dates we can play. And I just thought it was a horrible idea.
Yeah, stunned with hearing that. I am truly stunned.
I will tell you this. I didn't
hate.
hate the idea of selling the soccer complex. Now, there was a lot there. You know, you got women's college soccer players and you got these pros and you're sharing your facility with them. That was not ideal either. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But you had a soccer facility, parking. But look, this is the best answer. They get their own spot. They have a stadium, and hopefully we can build something that people are proud of and that it works. Tellus says, Jeff, what I've never heard during this entire process is how does this new stadium benefit the fans? Some fans that love going to the current location and have been attending events there for decades. Well, it benefits them because it'll be a soccer facility. The sightlines will be better. It'll be their own. Theoretically, the dates will be better. And by the way, tell us, it's not all about the fans. As much as they tell you it's all about the fans, it's not all about the fans. They're going to tell you, oh, this is all for our fans. No, stop. This is about United, their revenue streams. And look, it should be. They're a business. But they now get to control all the signage. They can make money on the advertising, the permanent advertising, the parking. They get to control their dates where they didn't. They were a second tenant. And really remember they had to move off of a Saturday date to open their season because you had the state basketball tournament was going on across the street. I remember them saying, well, because we didn't want to take away from high school. No, you had to move, man. You can have the parking that day. So now they get to control all that. They'll go up against isotopes when they can or they need to or they want to or they have to or scheduling, whatever. They get to control everything. But how will it benefit the fans? Hopefully it'll be a much more friendly soccer atmosphere, right? Every seat. You said you went to a game and you felt it was weird sitting that far off the field, right?
Yeah, I did not care for the sight line. I did not care for the distance. I especially with soccer, I like being close. So that will be a really nice change, I would think, for most fans. The other thing also, I got to tell you, one thing it benefits fans, and now granted this isn't for New Mexico, but fans outside of New Mexico will be more likely to travel if you have a new stadium. That's just something to be seen.
You know what? The Isotopes Park's a great facility.
It is.
Hopefully this will be nicer. I don't know that it will be nice. Isotopes Park's a nice ballpark. Now it's a ballpark that turned into a ball pitch, but it's what it is. James said on the dividers, Jeff, why that location? Open space in the middle of the town is precious. Up where I live, there's a large existing shopping center that's been vacant since the 1990s, and it degraded into just a homeless hangout. Why not there? I don't know where there is. I honestly don't know. Getting in and out. And look, if this was a shopping center in the middle of the neighborhood, you're going to have to deal with the neighbors and everything else and the traffic that goes with it and the noise. But, why there? Because they found a spot, man. They found a spot to do this. They found a spot that people are willing to go and get this thing done. That's why there. And let's move now. Let's go get it done. Text line, how will New Mexico United get around the anti-donation clause in the state constitution to get the additional money you're speculating about? I don't know. A capital outlay? And so some money will go back to the state on whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not sure I know the specifics of the anti-donation clause enough, but something will go back. Or this will be deemed, a community project that's good for the community. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. We're here for you on the stadium thing if you want to get in on that. Jefferson, what can $30 million buy? It costs 2 times that much to add a few crummy suites to dumpy old University Arena. And that was 20 years ago before the cost of everything skyrocketed and there was a shortage of everything. It's kind of my point, right? That's why I think there's got to be something more coming. Which, by the way, I don't think is a horrible thing. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Got some breaking news in the NFL this morning. We'll give you that. And what did Patrick Mahomes say after his receivers dropped the ball and probably the game last night? It's next. It's the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Opening drive, Jeff and DC. If you want to get down the stadium, you can. United looks like they're going to get their stadium, $30 million. They're going to spend, pay $35,000 rent for the land over at Balloon Fiesta Park. It feels like progress moving forward, but what says you at 505-246-0610? James is back in on that I don't know what shopping center he's talking about up where he lives, he said. But he said if the shopping center can handle crowds and traffic 365 days a year, why couldn't they accommodate 15 soccer dates? Contrary to what Trevisani says, nothing else is going there. It's the entire University Stadium APS thing all over again. When big money turf was put in and APS was supposed to play there, but APS didn't want to give up their revenue they received playing games in their facilities. James, you're going to have to explain to me why that facility or that spot would be so much better than the spot they have. I mean, yeah, I understand that there's land up there, but why would, I don't know who owns that land. I mean, it feels like we kind of solved the problem here. I don't know what we're talking about, but it feels like we're moving. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Chiefs last night lose to the Eagles 21-17, and a couple of drop passes. Well, not a couple. I mean, a bunch of drop passes last night. Did you know the Chiefs, and I don't know when this became a stat and how you, like, would you say the last play, the Watson play on 4th and 25, would that be a drop? Ball hit him in the hands, but he was getting hit. Is that a drop? It's so easy to sit in your chair and say, dude should have caught that, right?
Just in live viewing, I thought it was a drop.
Okay, and then they slowed it down. You see him getting hit a split second before, right in the back, and you're like, wow, that wasn't as easy as it looked, right?
It's amazing with those replays, how they can totally change your perspective.
All right, Kansas City leads the NFL with 26 drops by pass catchers. The most glaring was Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Drop with 1:50 to play, would have been a touchdown or at least put him at the 1 yard line and turns that game. Instead, there he is slamming his helmet and they lose the game and you saw how it goes. So what did Patrick Mahomes have to say? Because he did everything he can to win the game, right? I mean, it takes two to tango and to complete a reception. He said he's not having second thoughts on throwing a Valdes-Scantling. He'll do it again. It was just a missed opportunity. Quote from Mahomes: I have no regret. I mean, they triple teamed Travis, so I went to the guy that won down the field, and Marquez won. He just didn't come away with the ball. I probably could have thrown it a little short. He was that open, so you just have to continue to get better and better. Defense is keeping us in games. And if we can find a way to just get a little better on offense, we'll find a way, or we'll win a lot of these games, end quote. You're being very kind. I probably should have put it short. So we could have come back and got pass interference? You put the ball as well as it could have been thrown. I appreciate the humility, the teammate-ness, if that's even a word, of Patrick Mahomes.
Very high level of teammate-ness, indeed.
What? They know I'm going to keep firing it. That's just who I am. I'm going to fire it to the guy who's open, and usually they're going to make the play. I mean, I threw an interception in the red zone. If I had just flagged Justin Watson, off so that that didn't just lose the game. I mean, a lot of stuff happened throughout the game, so you got to keep firing, end quote. I appreciate him. I'd want to play with the dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's always looking out for his guys. He knows how comments can be taken and people run with them. So it's a very political statement, but it was probably the right one.
I mean, it's God bless him.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
But they drop a lot of balls, dude.
They do.
They drop a lot of balls. That's going to be their biggest thing. And they addressed it in the draft. They thought they did, right? Second round, Rashee Rice. Did they go after a big name receiver and I don't even know who's going to be on the market. But did they go after a big name receiver and free agent?
See, I thought they were going to do it before the trade deadline.
I thought DeAndre Hopkins was going to be their guy.
I really had a strong feeling about that too. I'm surprised they did not pursue that more.
But I think they thought, well, we got Mahomes and he makes everybody better. And he does. And I think Rashee Rice is going to be good. But I think they realized this year, man, if we don't win, the reason's going to be we're dropping balls like crazy. Their defense is as good as most. Like you can't name me 5 better defenses in the NFL right now.
Than the Chiefs? No, they really look dominant. And that's keeping them in games because if they don't shut them down, those last 2 drives in the first half, they don't get the touchdown, they don't get the field goal. This game looks so different.
Right.
And yeah, that I don't know. That defense is something else right now. And it is if they do make a run, I'd also say that's the reason they make a run.
Who's their defense?
Absolutely.
That's why I told you last night I thought they were going to win the game, or yesterday morning I thought they were going to win the game. All right, Broncos safety Kareem Jackson suspended again. This time 4 games for repeated violations of what they call the player safety rules. The play in question, Kareem Jackson put a hit on Joshua Dobbs of the Vikings the first quarter Sunday Night Football. He's appealing his suspension. He also appealed his last 4-game suspension, which resulted in it being cut in half. So he made his return Sunday from a 2-game suspension. Lowered his head, led with the crown of his helmet into Dobbs' chest. Got him suspended. He's your dude, man. He's on your team. How you feel about this?
I feel about the same way as I did last time he got suspended. I just, and JJ and I did not agree on this, but tackling there are rules behind it. You have to wrap them up. You cannot torpedo yourself. That's what he keeps doing. So when he decides not to use his arm and just basically propels his body towards you, he's turning himself into a weapon. That is not what the NFL is today. If you cannot keep up with it, then you're probably going to have to find another job because this is not sustainable at all. I'm sorry. I think he's an 11-year veteran. I just learn to wrap him up. I understand you're a high-intensity guy. You're trying to make big plays. It's in the moment. I get all that, but wrap a guy up. You cannot torpedo tackle. This is not 15 years ago.
You just can't do it.
No, you can't. That's why people are getting hurt.
And you would think, you keep getting fined, you keep getting suspended, you keep losing paychecks. That would be the ultimate motivation to say, man, I got to change the way I play.
Well, I mean, yeah, this guy right here, he's going to lose half his paychecks this year.
That's right.
Is that something? I mean, is it worth it to go out and get hit over and over and over again for half of your pay, and you're already paying half to your tax man and 10% to your agent? I mean, there is a point where you need to keep up with the game, and being old school is not an acceptable answer.
Text line, Jackson is a problem out there trying to hurt people.
It begins to look like that, doesn't it? When you get fined and then you're back for 1 game and then you get fined again and suspended again.
I mean, at what point is it a trend, right?
Now it is.
No, well, it's been.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time he's been suspended in 2 years.
But it's been a trend. That's who that guy is. All right, we got tickets to give away. We'll do that at 9:10 this morning. This will be for Lobo men's basketball against UC Irvine. This will be on December 20th. We'll do that coming up at 9:10. UC Irvine's good. That's the team that went to the Galen Center and beat USC. It's a pretty good team. So that's coming into the pit on the 20th. We'll do that at 9:10. 2 tickets to see Lobos against UC Irvine in men's basketball. I'm going to take this break. When we return, I got even more in the National Football League. How do the Eagles feel about it? Are they satisfied now after winning the rematch? What they had to say next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver.
Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money to drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Well, that makes everything better, doesn't it? Everything's better, Eagle fan. You got your revenge last night, did you? You got to win last night. Eagles beat the Chiefs last night, 21-17. Monday Night Football, what was being billed as a Super Bowl rematch. It was the same two franchises. It wasn't quite a rematch because, well, they don't get the trophy. But they won. How did they feel? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and DC. You can get into that at 505-246-0610. So, DC, after the game last night, we satisfied? You feel better? Jason Kelce. This is the Kelce on the Eagles. The other one. The one that's not dating Taylor Swift. The one that likes the chunky soup. Call him Pretty Boy. That's Pretty Man!
That's a good one.
It is a good one.
I like that.
Jason Kelce, Eagles. Listen, I'm really happy. I would have probably been happier if we would have put together a really dominant performance offensively and played great. I think the fact that we didn't do that makes it a little bittersweet I think the defense is largely why we won the game today. Hats off to those guys. I'm certainly happy to be 9-1, end quote. Okay. All right. Jalen Hurts. I don't think we played clean tonight. I don't think we played to our standard. All right. When you win games like we've won, it builds a ton of character. We're kind of in, I guess, character development mode with the games we played and how we've won. It can only serve as great things in the future, end quote. All right. Sounds like, yeah, we won a football game. Doesn't sound like revenge. It doesn't sound like I feel a hell of a lot better. It feels like, as it should, by the way, that we won a football game. We beat a good football team. We won a Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I mean, if you celebrate too much about a Week 11 win, you're kind of
a fanboy.
A fanboy, yeah.
No, honestly.
Yeah, no, you totally are. And it is a big win. I will say early on when you get the interception in the end zone and you're starting to feel it a little bit, I could see some excitement, but this does not make up for a Super Bowl loss.
Look, this is a big win. This is bigger than beating the Giants, right? This is bigger than going and beating the Chargers or whatever. I'm not telling you this isn't different. But I am telling you this doesn't avenge the Super Bowl loss. That's all I'm telling you, and nor should it. This was good. This was a statement. This was one of those, oh yeah, buddy. You know, take a look. But this doesn't avenge the Super Bowl loss.
No. I don't. To me, the only thing that's going to avenge a Super Bowl loss is a win
in the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, so I don't think there's any other way to get over that.
Yeah, that's all. This was a nice win. And enjoy it, and I mean all that stuff. No, this was great. But this is a good win. All right, when we come back, we're going into the red zone. DC's putting together some stuff that includes Mountain West stuff in the red zone.
You like that?
Flag football and Mountain West.
It's going to be a weird one.
Well, it should be. That's coming up next, and then we got tickets to go see the Lobos and UC Irvine at the Pit. UC Irvine's nice, dude. That's the team that went in and beat SC at the Galen Center. Opening drive. Jeff, DC, 505-246-0610. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Rosendo Nahad here, president of Carpenters Local 1319. Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does. The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports. is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Eagles 21, Chiefs 17. Super Bowl rematch. Hardly. Steve said neither one of those teams will be in the Super Bowl this year. That's bold. I said, who will be?
Yeah, that was my question.
I'm waiting. All
right, Steve, let us know.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting on that one. You can get in 505-246-0610. United are getting their stadium. You can get on that. Bourne says, or who's this? It's Gene. Most flimsy argument ever, Jeff. If we need restrooms and build the damn restrooms, I don't understand why we need to get a stadium to get restrooms. I mean, it's fair. It's kind of like an offshoot.
They should have been there a long time ago.
Well, his point is we need restrooms and build the damn restrooms. I mean, he's right.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, it shouldn't take a stadium to get
100%.
Yeah, running water. That it is 2023.
Now, Gene, if you're against the stadium, you can be against the stadium. That's fine. But you're 100% right. I don't understand why we need a stadium to get restrooms. I'll tell you what. You need a place to poop. All right. I'm sorry, people, but I want a soccer stadium, says the mayor. So if you want a place to poop and I want my soccer team to have a stadium, the only way you're getting a place to poop is if we get a soccer stadium. Right?
Well, that's one way to look at
Yeah.
it.
Response to neither one of those teams will be in the Super Bowl. I said, who will be? He said, good question, LOL.
It's a week-to-week league.
It's a week-to-week league. All right, you want to go in the red zone?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I do.
Let's go.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
Well, as you announced earlier, the Pittsburgh Steelers fired offensive coordinator Matt Canada following Sunday's 13-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns. With the loss, the Steelers dropped to 6-4 and fell behind their AFC North rival Browns, who are now at 7-3. Pittsburgh is clinging to a wild card spot right now, a half game ahead of the Buffalo Bills, who are at 6-5, entering a Week 12 game at the Cincinnati Bengals. So what impact will the firing of Matt Canada have on the stagnant Steelers offense? And really, does a midseason firing of a coordinator actually have an impact on a team?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It feels like after one game it did in Buffalo. They came out and scored 32 points on Sunday, right? And Buffalo fired their guy, and they look better. If they don't get the ball, they're playmakers. And for the life of me, I don't understand why they don't use George Pickens more.
That's a good question.
They got a guy who's electric, and they won't throw him the football. We're going to find out over the next few weeks if the problem was Matt Canada or Kenny Pickett, the quarterback or the coordinator. Will it impact their offense And I know the answer. I'm not supposed to give you. I don't know. And so initially, I'm going to say I'll lean to no because they've been so uninspiring. I honestly don't know if I think they've been so uninspiring because of play calling or not. If you're going to let Kenny Pickett, was he not letting Kenny Pickett throw the ball? And by the way, the best running back hasn't been Najee Harris. It's been Jaylen Warren. He's looked really good to me.
He has.
But if you're not letting him throw the ball because you don't trust him, because he's no good, well, if he's no good, then it's not going to matter. If the fact is that, damn, unleash that dude and let him do something and get the ball playmakers, then they will be better. I know you need an answer better than I'm not really sure. So let me just go with yeah. If they're going to let the guy throw the ball a little bit, yeah, because their point differential, they're 6-4. They're scored 29 points less than their opponents. They're 28th in points per game in a 32-team league. They're 28th in offensive yards, 31st in passing. So, yeah, I got to believe they're going to be a little better.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think the play calling tendencies are going to change. You'll see that right away. They probably will take a few chances with Pickett, just see what they really have there. I think it will have an impact, a positive one at that. Although I do look at firing coordinators midseason, and you do make a good point with Bills, but overall it's those coaches changes you see with the Raiders and some of the others that really inspire the team. I don't know how changing out your coordinator would have the same impact, but I do definitely agree that this particular move is definitely going to impact the Steelers' offense for the positive.
2nd and goal.
Ready, down, put.
The Kansas City Chiefs offense is officially struggling. After failing to score in the second half for a third consecutive game, the Chiefs fell to 7-3, which makes them one of 5 3-loss teams in the AFC. So what odds do you give the Kansas City Chiefs to win the AFC and get a bye in the first week of the playoffs?
So I give them about a 50% chance to get the bye. It's them, it's Miami, and it's Baltimore. And so who do I trust most of those 3 teams? I trust the team that's got a championship. Miami's beaten nobody. The best team they've beaten is the Raiders. Baltimore, I think, is good, and I trust them in the regular season. So you asked 2 different questions. About 50% to win the AFC, and I'll give them about a 55% chance to get to the Super Bowl, maybe 60, because, again, even if they don't have home field, what has Baltimore and Lamar Jackson done in the playoffs ever?
Not a lot.
And I know at some point they'll win, but I'm going to trust the team and the guys that have been there.
I tend to agree with that. The main reason is I look at this schedule for the Chiefs. They have the Raiders and Packers, Bills, even. I mean, Patriots, Raiders again. Yeah, you could look at that and say they could run this one out. So I'm going to give them a 70% chance of getting that bye in the first week. I still think they struggle getting past the Ravens in the playoffs, but I think they're going to have a week off to start.
Why do you think they struggle getting past the Ravens? Because I think their defense is really good. Both defenses are really good. You trust Lamar in that offense more than you trust the Chiefs?
From what I've seen the last 3 weeks, I do right now.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah,
and it's close. It's not like...
I think by the time we get there, I would go the other way. But I mean, I'm not mad at you.
3rd and goal.
All right, and this is the one you've all been waiting for. The top 4 seeds in the Mountain West are UNLV at 6-1, Air Force at 5-2, San Jose State at 5-2, and Boise State at 5-2. So San Jose State travels to UNLV, and Air Force travels to Boise next week. How do these games play out, and who makes the Mountain West championship game?
Right, who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thought one of the biggest games in this league this year would be Saturday afternoon, San Jose State at UNLV?
That's wild.
So, what was the question? How does it play out? I think Boise State beats Air Force. Boise State's playing well, and Air Force has lost 3 in a row. And it's going to be on the blue. I give Boise State a real shot. And by the way, Boise State's a 6.5-point favorite. The San Jose State UNLV game is a toss-up because, to me, it's the 2 best teams in the league right now. And I'm going to lean UNLV because they're at home and they're playing so well. So I'll lean UNLV on this, but I will not be surprised if San Jose State wins. And so I think at that point, I think that puts Boise State and UNLV in, right? Because, yeah, that would be Boise State with 2 losses. Yeah, that would be UNLV hosting Boise State for the league championship. I'm gonna lean Boise State at UNLV for the championship game, but I won't be surprised if it goes either way. What do you got?
You know, this is me deferring to the experts a little bit, but UNLV has looked really good.
Dude, they're good.
Yeah,
but so is San Jose State. Have you watched them at all?
Yes, not enough to have a firm opinion, but what I have seen has been really good. So that's why this was such an interesting question, because you can make a case for all 4 teams.
Yeah. So San Jose State has won 5 in a row. Well, Jeff, who they beat? New Mexico, Utah State, Hawaii. They beat the tar out of Fresno State, and then they handled San Diego State last week. And their losses were to SC at the beginning of the year when USC was ranked 6th, Oregon State, who's ranked in the top 15. They lost to Toledo, who's the once beat team in best team in the MAC. They lost to Air Force when Air Force was rolling, and then they lost on the blue when they blew that big lead at Boise State. So that's when. Remember when people came in? They came in here and people lost their mind. Lobos got beat by them. How can you lose to that crappy? Well, now all of a sudden, look at this.
Yeah, we took many calls saying just that.
I know.
Very interesting. All right.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, so we're going to have a little debate. This is a topic that's come up and got me thinking quite a bit. The NFL is running it back with their Pro Bowl games concept rather than the traditional game for the 2nd year in a row. As a part of these games, Pro Bowlers compete in a flag football contest as well as other skills-type competitions, throwing, receiving, things like that, speed, and what have you. Recently, it was announced that flag football will be a part of the 2028 Olympics, with many Pro Bowl caliber players, including Patrick Mahomes, expressing interest in playing for Team USA. So the debate is this: will we ever see flag football seriously challenge the popularity of traditional tackle football?
No, but I can see it being a popular sport. I can, because there's something to it, right? There's an excitement to it. There's a skill level, and this is one of those where you can go out and play it, right, up until a certain age. I mean, whatever, until you blow out your Achilles or your knee or whatever, when thinking you used to be able to do what you used to be able to do. But I think there's a place for it. If there's a place for everything that we've got right now that we consume, whether it's pro wrestling to indoor lacrosse or outside lacrosse leagues and USLs and everything else, yeah, then there's a place for flag football. Will it approach the popularity of the NFL? No. But will we enjoy it at some level? Yeah, I think we will.
This is one I go back and forth on because moms have the final say. And so when you see DeMar Hamlin go down, you see some guys take serious injuries, moms will eventually start to say, no, I don't want you out on the playing field. So if it were to shift away from the tackle, we're talking 10 plus years, long time.
No, I don't think in our lifetime. I think it's longer than that. The shift that you're talking about, there's something to it, but I think it's a longer than 10 plus years.
And that very well may be, probably is correct, actually. 20 maybe might be more in range. But I just see this situation where with health concerns and all the other things we're seeing, if we saw a player die on the field, that would be one of those straws that breaks camel back, and we are having serious conversations about flag football. I also see a situation where, like XFL, they have the ability to pivot. What if they decided to go flags and challenge the NFL in that way? It's just, there's so many possibilities, and there's such a huge opening for this.
But the
right
XFL, I think those are guys who are trying to get into the NFL, right?
Perhaps, but I mean, there could be a situation where a pivot occurs and they say, okay, look, we've only had 5 guys go to the NFL. It's really unrealistic for that to happen. However, you could be part of the top league in flag football, around the world, really.
Yeah. All right, you can get in on any of that stuff. It's actually pretty interesting stuff. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Got a Jason email when we come back. Question was asked earlier. What's been the biggest keys in New Mexico State's turnaround? I got a number of responses to that. Love yours as well. It's the opening. Oh, we got to give away these tickets. Let's give away these tickets. Here's what we got. 2 tickets. Global basketball, men's basketball against UC Irvine. Tickets are for December 20th at the Pit, 7 o'clock game. Caller number 3 right now. Caller 3 at 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. You'll win those tickets courtesy of your buddy DC.
Furkay Live is tonight.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ozera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interests being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
A lot of places today. If you missed Jerry Kill's conversation, It's available for you wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive, and it'll be right there. So, hey, I got so much response. And if you go by there, I was on our website yesterday. I went home, and my daughter said, Dad, when are you going to have Gianna Raymer on? She's the young lady, the 13-year-old 8th grade girl who won the state cross-country championship and won the Nike Cross Regionals this weekend, or last weekend in Mesa. I said, it was today. I said, oh, I missed it. I said, well, you want to hear it? And so went over there, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of cool stuff on there that you can listen to. And it was, yesterday, Andre Seldon, the New Mexico State defensive back, was really good. Danny Gonzalez, after the victory, was terrific. All the conversations we've had with the student athletes. So it's all there if you want to get it. And the response that I got, DC, to Gianna Raymer yesterday, something different, something positive. Yesterday was one of my favorite shows that we've done, and I can't tell you how long, because everybody was in a good mood. Lobo fan got a big victory in Fresno. You guys were feeling good. Aggie fan was still wobbling after their victory. And then the Gianna story is so good that everybody was in love with that. So it was kind of cool. Yesterday was a fun show.
No, I agree. When we left, we knew that was a good one. Sometimes the radio, you just know when you hit a home run. That was definitely one.
Yesterday was fun. All right, I asked the question earlier. What was the biggest? What's the biggest reason for the turnaround at New Mexico State? Because you asked earlier. You said they were shut down during COVID. How did this happen so quickly? And I said, obviously the Jerry Kill factor is the biggest thing, right? That's number one. And then is it recruiting? Is it the athlete that they're bringing in, right? We talked to Andre Seldon, who was a 4-star recruit that came from Michigan. Keyshawn Elliott, who had those power offers and opted to come to New Mexico State. Did they just happen to hit on a quarterback that has a bag full of magic? Like Felix the Cat, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Like remember the little bag of tricks he used to have?
Oh, yeah.
Is that going way back?
No, I think that's not too far back, and it's right on.
Johnny sent me a list. Biggest factors. 1, great coaching and great coaching hires. Okay? Number 2, NIL functioning well. Their collective is doing a nice job for football down there.
So I've only done a little research on that. Do I understand this correctly, that they have some sort of deal with like a local restaurant or something where they supplement the sales?
I think there's that, but there's also they were given rights to one of the tracks and casinos that helps fund their NIL.
That's a good pull right there.
Number 3, the portal had gone crazy. Okay. Number 4, new conference, which pumped a lot of enthusiasm into it. And number 5 says only 1 bye game. Last year they played 2. No, they played 3. Last year they played 3. So that was all there for you. All right. This one's from Jason, and it goes into this. It says hashtag HHLP. Jefferson, you asked what's the biggest factor in the New Mexico State turnaround. I hearken back to a statement Jeffrey Candelaria made a few years ago on this fine radio station. 2 things can be true at the same time, but in this case, a few things. The development of the quarterback, the coaching, and athletes are all part of this. However, I'm going to throw a couple of things that are huge in the turnaround. One of those is the attitude within the Aggie program. I remember the previous coach would resign himself to the idea that you have to score 30 points to win in mid-major football, putting on the most basic tenet of football, physicality. Even the most successful finesse air raid teams have an element of physicality. In this market, you saw 2 programs win games by holding teams to less than 17 points and not scoring more than 28. UNM, Fresno State, and New Mexico State versus Auburn. So though that philosophy of 30 points being needed sounds exciting, but at some point, the game of football comes down to physicality, and that's where hashtag HHLP comes in. The hashtag means hard hat lunch pail, which encapsulates Jerry Kill's football philosophy. Coach Kill, by virtue of what he has been through, has instilled a culture of being thankful for every opportunity, understanding the grind that will bring results. Close your eyes and picture a guy who wears a hard hat and brings his lunch pail to work. And what's he doing? The football version of that guy is Jerry Kill, football player. Kill is a process-oriented coach. Hashtag HHLP goes deeper than last season and this season, as Kill is building what is now a foundation for this program going forward. Coach Kill said something today in the interview where he said they prepared last week as they would for any week and started preparing this week like any other week after one of the bigger wins in program history. Basically saying we're back to the grind like every other week. Hashtag HHLP. Sorry for the long email, still wobbling. Hashtag wobble on. Hashtag JPSC, jeans polo security clearance. My personal hashtag. That's Crimsonally Jason. It's interesting. You know, he did say that a couple of times today, right? He talked about there's no time to enjoy things. There's no time to just, and I'm going to guess they enjoyed it after the game, but he's right. Here comes another 8-3 team that wants to prove that they should be in the cup. If this was a regular year, if Jacksonville State was not transitioning and not permitted to play in the championship game, this game would be for a slot in the conference championship game. You say, well, Jeff, wait. I thought the Aggies already have clinched the spot. They have. They have clinched the spot in the conference championship game because Jacksonville State is ineligible because they're transitioning up. Jacksonville State is 6-1 in league play. New Mexico State is 6-1 in league play. Both of them have only lost to Liberty. Now, who else did Jacksonville State lose to non-conference? They lost to Coastal Carolina, one of the better teams in the Sun Belt, and they lost to South Carolina, Southeastern Conference, SEC team, 38-28, and they were 28 all going into the fourth quarter. So you get a pretty good Rich Rodriguez coach team coming into your hood this weekend. And that's what he was saying. We know how good this team is, and it's just right back at it. Frank, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Frank.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
You know, your show yesterday was truly incredible. That little gal, I'm going to follow her for till later today when the Broncos won, the Sooners won, the Lobos won. I might. Oh, Kansas City lost, and Sideshow Bob looked like a clown last night. And I might drive off of La Bajada Hill today. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's all downhill from here.
Well, let's hope it stays up for a little while. Enjoy the peak.
There you go. Hey, I want to talk about the New Mexico Bowl. Who's going to be in there, Jeffrey?
I don't know, man. By December 3rd, I'll know. But obviously, I mean, we're looking at a lot of factors. And
tease me.
Well, I mean, what do you want to know? What do you want to know specifically?
What will you be wearing? I mean, who's playing in the damn game?
I'll be wearing a tie, and I got a brand new. The new jackets came in this week, so I'll be wearing my New Mexico Bowl jacket.
Nice.
Are you asking about the locals? I mean, is that what you're asking about? New Mexico State? Is that?
Yeah, maybe New Mexico State.
Yeah, a lot of. I get that question 15 times a day, and the answer is, they're insanely attractive to us. Obviously, they've never been in the game. And that's a team we've been watching all year and with great interest. And there's a lot of factors beyond just me saying, hey, that's the team we want. But yeah, there's a lot of interest in that.
Nice. Hey, I got to tell you before I hang up, I've been spending some time with a woman from San Jose.
Attaboy.
And she knows, or L.A., I'm sorry, and she knows your mother and said you are from royalty, buddy. Congratulations.
Well, that's nice of you, Frank. My mom is an absolute superstar, and I'm going to get to see her tonight. So appreciate you.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know, royalty. That's kind of cool. Is that weird that he's been spending some time with a lady from L.A. who knows my mom? And it said I'm loyalty or royalty. No, my mom is a star.
That's awesome.
Like my mom's a rock star. Sherman, good morning. What's happening?
Well, I just barely had time to call in because I went out and did my dumb miles.
Your junk miles?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that was one of the greatest interviews I've ever listened to.
Yeah, thank you. It was really enjoyable, and it's just fun to get someone who's just so genuinely excited about what they do and just so genuinely, well, just genuine. It was good. Thank you.
And can you believe that she is only 13 years old?
Yeah, if you get a chance to watch her, it's amazing.
She sounded so mature.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, like every other Lobo fan, I was totally thrilled to see Danny's Lobos put a game together.
Yeah, they look great. That's the game you've been waiting for a long time, huh?
Yes, and it demonstrates what he has put together. So I do push back on the people that have last few weeks have turned negative towards Danny. I've never understood the term philosophy of winning, but I understand how critical the philosophy of winning is, even though I don't understand exactly what it means. It's like the psychiatry of winning or something. But that is obviously so critically important. And to come back from our COVID years when we couldn't play here and with the portal and the people, his players, and I'd say Danny's earnestness, I'm thrilled for the team and I'm thrilled for Danny.
Yeah, it was a good win, man. It was a good win, and hopefully it's for this program, it's a preview of coming attractions because I know a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Sherm.
Yes, All right.
Hey, have a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you.
Yeah, take care.
505-246-0610. Keep them coming. You give away those tickets, right?
I did.
All right.
I did. It was the front of the show, too.
Really?
Josue.
Look at that. Hoser's. Is that right?
Got us up a couple hot tickets.
Doesn't he have a pass for that, too? I'm pretty sure.
Apparently not. He needs tickets.
When we come back, one of the greatest ever in the National Football League says the league's got a lot of mediocrity. Really? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burtia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website. Young driver, this one.
Hard to get her out.
she'd been drinking. This one, both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight? No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom!
What the hell's going on here? When did Tom Brady become an old man? Is 46 an old man?
It is apparently now.
Huh? The problem with these damn kids today is they're too damn young. Tom Brady's that dude now.
I know.
How long's he been retired? A year and a half?
Yeah, year and a half.
Actually, less than a year, calendar-wise.
Okay, yeah.
Tom Brady was on with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. Tom Brady, quote, I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past. I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of the young players is as good as it was. I don't think the schemes is as good as they were. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. End quote. He's been out for a year. But back when it was way better when I played. But we used to play, I would get the tar beat out of me. Tom Brady never got hit. I like me some Tom Brady. But tell me, does this not sound like get off my rocks? Get off my lawn.
It does, because, I mean, really the defensive side of the ball is caught up in so many ways.
Okay, you make a point that is so damn important and overlooked. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, we had this outburst of offense, the fantasy football emergence, where it was all about getting as many yards, as many points, as many scores as possible. Eventually, with the ebb and flow of sports, the defense will catch up and find a way to scheme around that.
All right, I'll give you a little fodder to back you up. Scoring in the National Football League has declined for the fourth consecutive season. So teams are combining to score 43.3 points a game, down from 43.8 last year and 45.9 in 2021. So it's down 1.5-ish in the last 2 years. It's on pace, the league is, for its lowest scoring season on average since 2009. Okay, so that means it's mediocre. Your point is the point that is lost in every one of these conversations when I hear about mediocrity or they're no good. It's like we're only supposed to develop players on the offensive side, that only quarterbacks and linemen on the offensive side develop, and when in fact the guys on the defensive side have developed at maybe a little bit more of an accelerated pace than in the past, maybe even more than the offensive side. But I heard on this radio station a few weeks ago, well, it's boring and it's mediocre because games are 17-14 or 21-17 like we saw last night. That the only guys who are developing are on the offense. Well, the fact is, as much as you have swung the rules to help offenses, the guys on defense can't hit, can't hold, can't grab, they can't do anything. They have somehow evolved their game and developed and gotten better athletically, schematically, talent-wise. But scoring's down, so it must be worse. No, for crying out loud, those guys on the other side of the ball are developing too. And this one-sided, narrow vision, and that's why I'm not sure I'm accusing Tom Brady of that, but others are. I'm accusing others of that. And I'm glad it was the first place you went. Because the guys on the defensive side of the football have developed to a place where they were behind, but we can't appreciate that. It's like a pitcher's duel. Baseball game, a 1-0 game must be horrible. Actually, it can be really good. No, I want to see a 9-8 baseball game. Okay. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But your point is so absolute that the development of the defensive side of the football, the athletes, the scheme, the techniques, the strength, has caught up and in some respects passed the offense, and hence people are yelling, well, I mean, it's horrible football. Kenny Pickett stinks. And, well, dude, I don't know. You go out and snap the ball and within a second have a big, giant 300-pound dude trying to take your head off.
You got 2 seconds and there's
If
3
you're
more behind
lucky.
him. If you're lucky. And here's one thing. In terms of coaching, this creates more of a chess match because we know defenses are better, offenses are still high-powered. So how are you going to scheme in a way that you can get past whatever it is that is going to hold you up the most? So if you're into the chess match of football, some of the, it's in the weeds a little bit, I'll admit, but like if you're into that and the way coaches coach against each other,
Yeah.
I mean, there's never been a better time.
No, look, man, I am so glad, and we didn't rehearse this, we didn't talk about it. I'm so glad you said it. And look, Tom Brady can call it mediocre, and he knows so much more football than I do, and so I'll give him the respect that goes with him being Tom Brady.
Now, I will say this, though. I've seen this trend for a while, so this is kind of why it keeps coming up on Red Zone, because we're trying to basically create a narrative for the season. Big part of that narrative is how good these defenses are.
Yes. Now, Brady made this point. He says, look, I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis, Rodney Harrison, Ronnie Lott, guys that impacted the game in a certain way. And every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily why they don't talk about their player how to protect himself. We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to a defensive player to protect an offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I think a lot of the way that the rules have come into play have allowed this. You can essentially play carefree, and then if anyone hits you hard, there's a penalty. And he's not wrong with all that. Okay?
You're right. Yeah, you used to be afraid to throw the football in the middle of the field because you knew someone's getting lit up.
So wouldn't that lead to more offense? Well, you would think, right? And so maybe that's his mediocrity argument. And so I'll give him some of that. How many quarterbacks are mediocre? How many teams are throwing out this weekend, this coming weekend? Would you say New England, the Jets, Cincinnati's going to throw out Jake Browning, Cleveland is, Pittsburgh is, Indianapolis is, Tennessee is, Denver is, the Raiders are, that's 9 in the AFC. The Giants are, the Commanders are, Bears are, Packers are, Vikings are, Falcons are, Carolina, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. I mean, are the Rams? What's Matthew? I mean, 18 to 20 of the 32 quarterbacks are mediocre.
Over half.
I'll buy it. I mean, his argument on the mediocrity, like, it sounds to me like old man back when I was a kid playing all those year ago. All those year ago when I was playing. But we absolutely discredit the evolution, the development of defensive players and scheme because we're not seeing guys, teams score 35, 40 points a week. And I'm watching athletes that, look, yeah, Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie, they were all great. But to me, give a little credit to the defensive development, and it doesn't mean that offenses are horrible because defenses are playing great.
No, you're absolutely right. The offense, I mean, look at Miami. They're still putting up big numbers like some people want, the fantasy-style numbers. And,
usually.
But that style is not proving to be the most effective. Can we agree on that? I mean,
well, they haven't beaten anybody. The best team they've beaten was the Raiders.
So what we're seeing is that defense wins championships.
What happened last night?
Defense
21-17
won a championship rematch.
And we believe it's two of the best teams in the National Football League, right?
Definitely.
I mean, the Cowboys can go put up 40 on the Giants every week if they want, 47, 50, whatever they want.
Giants will not be in the Super Bowl. So
I promise you that. That one I will bet everything I've got on. Yes.
Yeah, I'd put the house on that one too.
Yes. The Cowboys might be, but I mean, who the Cowboys beat. I'm so glad you went there. So the Brady thing is interesting. Well, I mean, Tom Brady says it's mediocre. Come on, Tommy. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of injured quarterbacks there, and I'll give him that. There's a lot of mediocre quarterback play. Not everybody can be Tom Brady. I'll give you that. You're right with that. But this whole argument, well, see, it's mediocre because scoring's down. I'm struggling with that, man, because it gives no due credit where it's due, and that's to the development on the defensive side. Well, you got to develop a quarterback. You got to develop. Those guys are developing too, man. Those guys are working out every day. They have coaches. They have weight rooms. They have film.
It is interesting that he would go there too, knowing that his first run to a Super Bowl was on a defensive team.
100% when they beat the Rams.
And then when they went undefeated, they got no Super Bowl.
Because David Tyree held the ball to his helmet.
Hey.
Look, I'm all about it.
Yeah, that was wild. But yeah, you can throw 49 touchdowns and hit Randy Moss 24 times for those touchdowns, but that didn't get you a ring.
Look,
so
I'm all about score, man. I play fantasy football too. I'm not very good at it. But I enjoy it. But I heard this argument a couple weeks ago. Wow, it's just not that good. It's boring. And football's good. No, first of all, the ratings are still killing it. Everybody's watching it. You're watching it. We're all watching it. But put a little respect on the defensive guys, that their development, their progression, they're getting better too. There's two sides to the ball, man. Every time the ball snaps, there's dudes trying to move the ball and dudes trying to stop the movement of the ball. And those guys are pretty damn good too.
When you talk about people still watching, a great example is during the World Series. The Jets played Sunday night, and I think it was against the Bills. I can't remember.
Yeah.
They had, I believe it was 27+ million viewers for that.
And so like 8 million for the World Series or something?
It was, averaging less than 9 million a game. So they got 3 games worth of MLB viewership in
World
one
Series
evening.
viewership.
The top of the mountain for the MLB. It's unbelievable.
All right, we'll wrap this thing up. Everything you got to know as you go through your Tuesday. If you still want to get in, you can. The number's 505-246-0610. Hey, thank you for spending time with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez.
We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
It's Animal. All right, what do you got to know as you go through your day? 21-17, Eagles beat the Chiefs last night on Monday Night Football. I don't know if they avenged their loss in the Super Bowl, but they did win last night. Matt Canada has been fired as the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Tom Brady bemoaned the NFL product, basically saying there's a whole lot of mediocrity out there. And New Mexico United will get their stadium. City Council voted 7-2 last night to lease the land just to the east of Balloon Fiesta Field at Balloon Fiesta Park, and United will build their stadium there. And I know a lot of people will talk about that. 505-246-0610. Jerry Kill was with us today. If you want to hear what he had to say and you missed it, good conversation with New Mexico State's coach. It's on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive, and a bunch of the podcasts are there. Wherever you get podcasts, you can find it. Going to hit the phones here in a second. I'm going to take a day off tomorrow, Thanksgiving on Thursday, and I just... real quickly, you take this time of year and you realize how good you've got it sometimes, and hopefully we all take a second to be thankful for what we've got, and super thankful to be able to do this every day, and insanely grateful for all of you who spend some time with us on a daily basis on this show. We hit 15 years on the opening drive back in July. And I'm proud of the run. I don't believe it to be close to over. Hopefully we have many, many more years. But I'm super grateful for those of you who spend time with us. I know you got a lot of things that you could be doing every morning. And I'm grateful for all of you who allow us to do this. I'm grateful for all of us, for all the people I work with, for JJ. DC, man, you've been a blessing on the show. You have been just such a blessing. I'm grateful for the passion that you bring, for how much you care about making this show better. You become a good friend in a short time, and I'm insanely grateful that you're part of this show. Thank you for caring so much and for bringing so much to this, man. You're good people, and you're a pro. So
that's incredible, dude. I really appreciate that. And I feel the same way. When I decided I want to get back into radio down here, I identified your show. Here I am. I'm so glad I get to hang out with you guys every day.
Well, you make us better. You make us better. And Adrian, you make us better too on the TV side and the additions that you do. So I hope you and little Dicito and Mrs. Dicito, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. And so it'll be DC and A. Marie tomorrow with Ned, right?
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
All right. So enjoy that, and they'll be here tomorrow. Terry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you doing, Terry?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, DC. And yeah, thoughts to you guys for your Thanksgiving. Totally enjoy your family. Very thankful for your show. You guys do a wonderful job and everything. The young lady, Jana, the best thing I thought when she said she enjoys running is when my kids were growing up, I said, what was the number one thing every time they left for any sporting event was have fun. So I think for her to continue success, hopefully she stays healthy. But when she said she just enjoys it, that part,
Key, right?
the sky's the limit for her, and just a well-spoken young lady and everything. So, yeah, that was great. Kind of missed some of the other youth stuff, you used to have it, but that was awesome. You guys get an A+ on that. I think yesterday you talked about Bill Polian. I think he got into my meds. I think backup QBs are very important. Osweiler for Denver. Peyton won the Super Bowl, but Osweiler started a few games, including the game that got him home field advantage, beating the Pats up there in Denver.
Truth. And
then Chad Henning, sealed the deal. Andy let him throw on fourth down on a play. So
I'll give you another one.
When
When Brady went down, when he took over for Bledsoe, he went down and Drew Bledsoe won the AFC Championship game, and then Brady won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, and all that. So from the standpoint there, and on a side note, it's kind of old, and so I can repeat my thing. Some shows repeat themselves this time of year. I still think there should be something for the QBs, kind of like they have an ERA for pitchers, because drops, defenses are getting better, but I don't think the Eagles called them the defensive huddle. Let the guy run by you, and he'll just drop the ball in the end zone.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a great Thanksgiving,
Okay,
Terry.
you too. Be safe.
See ya.
Take
Hey,
care.
Marty, sorry. Music tells me I got to go, and I apologize for not having the time on that. Thanks to Jerry Kill for being with us today, New Mexico State's coach. It's available for you on the podcast if you want to get it. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. Two Men On is here at 4 o'clock. And then DC, A. Marie, and Ned tomorrow for the opening drive. Have a great show tomorrow. Hey, Adrian, thanks for everything. Have a great Thanksgiving. DC, best to you. Family, enjoy Thanksgiving. I'm super grateful you're here.
I'm grateful to be here, and I hope the same for you. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. They'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next Monday. Later.
Rosendo Nahad here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
for surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.